What is up, everybody? It's Chris Muzan. We're back here for another BizBuzz Live on this Friday, September 20th. Always excited to come back here and have these conversations with you today. Another important one because, again, it is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So because September happens to be one of the more important months for us here in the business, we want to keep having these conversations around insurance. And a lot of you out there on LinkedIn have jobs or are looking for jobs. And because of that, we're going to have the conversation today about why job provided life insurance can't be the only thing you have. So stick around for it. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back for another BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, your financial coach, helping you through your financial life, guiding you down the path of building a proper financial foundation for you and your family, making sure that you're getting to all your financial goals and dreams. Again, the reason we started BizBuzz Live, we're live right now on YouTube and live here on LinkedIn. The reason why we started this is because inevitably in your financial journey, whether you sit down with me or somebody that looks like me in the financial space, we're going to help you with your savings and your debt and your investments and your insurance, your life insurance, your disability, your long-term care, your estate plan. But ultimately, it comes back to your cash flow. Ultimately, it comes back to how much is coming in and how much is going out. So we wanted to always take some time to really talk about what are the options for us making more money or keeping more of the money that we make. What industries are making money? What industries aren't making money? What are you guys feeling? Those of you that work full time, have careers, have jobs, what are you feeling in your career? Do you feel like you're progressing? Do you feel like your 3% raise a year is adequate if you get that? Are you looking for other options? Those of you that have started a business, how's the business coming along? How's your growth in sales and marketing and your operations teams? So we wanted to have these conversations every Friday with you just to talk about the things that are the most important when it comes to when it comes to all of our financial life and our cash flow. But again, because this is September and September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, we take special time out for these 30 days of the month to really hone in on one of the things that we believe is foundational in someone's financial life, which is insurance, right? Especially the life insurance side of things. A lot of times we are building and we're growing and we're getting to a place where we have a house and we have some assets and we have some retirement accounts and we have some savings for the kids. And then something crazy happens where somebody gets sick, they get cancer, they have a stroke, they have some major car accident or something that paralyzes them, and their cash flow goes down right away. Their savings goes away. Their debt starts to go up. The house cannot remain in the same shape. You're not able to put the same amount of money away long term. Lots of things change when that happens. And then, God forbid, if somebody were to pass away and that income goes from whatever that person was bringing in down to zero immediately, well, that also that also poses challenges for people's financial life. So I know a lot of times people just talk about the insurability. If you don't have kids, then maybe you don't need insurance. Okay, that's fair, right? I don't necessarily agree fully, but again, if that's the way you believe, sure. If you don't have anything that you need to protect, if you believe the house is going to be completely paid off and you're not going to leave any debts, and right, there's no one that you want to further their generational blessings, right? If you don't want to continue to pass monies down, hundreds of thousands of dollars tax free, to set your kids or grandkids, or if you don't have kids, a charity or your church or anything that you believe in. If you don't want to help them progress and move forward, then you probably don't need the insurance side of things. But if that's not you, and you say, hey, there are some things I'd like to protect. I would like to protect my income. I would like to make sure my kids or grandkids actually can go to college and do all the things that they want to do in life and buy a home and start a business. And if they need to adopt a child or whatever the case is, that there is actual funds there to be able to do that. Then you want to have this conversation around life insurance and how important it is. And one of the things we've been hearing a ton in this month is the fact that people have their life insurance solely through their job. So today on BizBuzz, we're just going to have a quick conversation and show you some examples of why that probably should not be your only option. And I say probably just to right to be nice to some of you out there. It absolutely should not be your only option for the type of coverage that you have. And we'll drop some examples in here to show you exactly why. But this is the conversation we're having today. Again, feel free to drop comments in the chat here on LinkedIn. Drop some comments over on YouTube about job provided life insurance. If that's all that you have for yourself, this is the episode to listen to and understand a little bit of both the pros and the cons on that side. So let's dive in. Again, by the way, for those of you that aren't educated on it, job provided life insurance is called group term. Okay, group term. So if you've been working with your employer, normally they've offered you some type of benefits package. That benefits package normally comes with health and medical, right? Some type of dental insurance and vision insurance potentially. Normally they throw in some life insurance, which is group term insurance. But typically that group term insurance, one, is not going to give you adequate amounts of coverage, and two, it's not going to be there for you when you need it, most likely, right? So these are the things that we want to be able to share and we want to be able to touch on today specifically. So let's dive into a couple of things. Let me share the screen here with you, and let's talk about a couple of things. Take a listen to this young lady here. Actually, I don't think this is the one I want to start with. Let's start with another one, because there's a different one that I want to show you guys that I think might hit home a little bit more. All right, let's do this one. Yeah, there we go. All right, so here we go. Let's share the screen back with you, and let's dive into.
Your employer is offering you life insurance through a group policy, that means they got a good rate, which means you're going to probably pay a way lower premium than if you were to get term life insurance on your own. For example, in past jobs, I've been able to sign up the employer's term life insurance for $3 or $5 per payroll versus $30 a month if you were to get it on your own. You won't have to do a ton of paperwork. You'll just have to opt in through your open enrollment period. You also shouldn't have to do some sort of health screening since it's a group policy. Now the cons: if you leave your employer, you will no longer have life insurance. It's only while you're with that employer. So that's important to know if you do have dependents that rely on you, and that's the reason that you got life insurance in the first place. And secondly, your employer may not offer enough coverage. My employer only offered about $50,000 in coverage in my last job.
So let's start there. All right, couple pros and cons on the life insurance side. Couple pros, couple cons. Right. So let's talk about it. Pros: it's cheap, right? You probably pay, if you look at your job insurance, you're probably going to pay $12 a paycheck, $7 a paycheck, $15 a paycheck, something like that. It's not going to be a lot because it's a group policy. That means that they got a good group deal, right? Because it's not just you that has the coverage; it's all of you and your coworkers that have that product. So that's good. Other thing, right? Typically, you didn't have to go through any health screenings or anything like that because, again, as a group policy, they're not insuring you; they're insuring your position. Okay, they're not insuring you; they're insuring your position. So therefore, they don't really need to know much about you. They have your social because your job has it. They have your address, so they kind of know about where you live. But outside of that, they don't really need any other information from you. So those are the pros of it. What are the cons? She already said it. You're not going to have as much coverage as you need. You're underinsured. Proper protection is 5 to 10 times your annual income because it's going to replace your income. So you want to keep that in your family. A job typically is only going to give you, like she said, 1, maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times your salary at the most. But most are even under that. You might get a simple 25,000 or $30,000 of coverage. The other thing, it's not portable. What does that mean? It's not portable. It means you can't carry it over. It means if you leave the job, whether you're 33, 43, 53, or 63, whenever you leave the job, you don't have any more life insurance coverage. That's what that means. So the question is always, is that going to be the best option? Is that going to be the best thing for you and your family if you are trying to protect your income? Normally, the answer to that is no. Another one.
Telling me that they already have it through their job. And I like to respond, that's great. Some coverage is better than no coverage. But what a lot of people don't understand is that group life insurance often leaves people underinsured. And being underinsured means that you don't have a large enough life insurance policy to cover all of your debt and your final expenses when you pass away, which can be a large burden on your family, forcing them to come out of pocket for either your debt or your funeral, which is something that life insurance is supposed to prevent. Another aspect about group life insurance is the fact that it only lasts while you're employed. So the moment you become unemployed, you also become uninsured, and you don't get any of the money back that you paid toward the policy. Lastly, some group life insurance policies can be very tricky and will only pay your family if you die a certain way, such as dying on the job or dying in some sort of accident, which basically means if you don't die the way their contract says, you kind of paid all of that money for no reason. This is why it is crucial to have your own life insurance policy because you'll always know what's going on and you can customize it to fit all your personal needs.
That's a big one, y'all. That's a big one. The one that says you have to die a certain way. That part of group coverage is something that doesn't get shared enough. That because, and I challenge any of you that are relying on your job insurance to show me a policy, show me what it says in the fine print of your policy. The benefit of having personal life insurance to cover you and your family is you get a policy. It's an actual book. Now, some companies now send it to you via email because it's like 160 pages. Some still send you a physical policy in the mail if you want it. But it's a thick booklet. Now, everything you need to know is in the first couple pages of your life insurance policy, but regardless, it's a thick booklet. And so if you're at the job and you have job insurance, well, show me what your policy says. Probably got to go to HR, probably got to go figure out that side of it to figure out kind of what the policy says. But in there, it could potentially say, if you don't die in the way that they say it in the contract, you get no money. It could be an accidental policy that says you have to die in an accident. It could just be, again, a group policy that says you have to die here on the job. Otherwise, if you die outside of the job, could be a big fat no, right? Could be a big fat no. And that's not something that's not going to actively protect our families, right? That's not going to be the thing that we have to protect our families. Let's give you another scenario here. All right, let's take a listen.
This is just me reiterating why it's important to have life insurance outside of your job, in addition to the life insurance through your job, also known as group life. Here we have a case of a loved one that was lost. The family has submitted a claim in hopes of getting a benefit, and it turns out that they were denied. They were denied because of simply them mentioning that he was not at work. He never returned to work. And I know you're probably thinking this is silly, right? It is, because you were hospitalized, and unfortunately, a few days later, you expired. And because you were hospitalized from this date up until that date of your death, they will not pay out. They explain how you have to be actively working. Now, a lot of us don't know how our life insurance policies work through our job. And that's why, personally, you should have one outside of your job, because we don't know to what extent we are covered. We don't know the provisions, exceptions, and limitations on these policies. So, here's an example of why you should get one outside of your job, because you cannot fully depend on group life insurance.
Again, here's just another example of someone relying on job insurance and then them not paying out. And the reason they didn't pay out is because this person was not actively at work. Like, hopefully you understand that side, right? They weren't actively at work. Like, let's say this person got hurt at work, went into the hospital, was on disability maybe for a month, then all of a sudden passes away, and their job insurance did not protect them. It didn't cover them at all. So they were relying on something that actually wasn't reliable. Again, these are stories that we hear, but not enough of us understand that this is actually reality of how this plays out. I'll give you one last one really quickly, right? One last one really quickly that'll drive this entire thing home for you, so you get a chance to really understand how life insurance at the job does not benefit you.
Is literally so bad, and it's a waste of money. I'm qualified to say this because I own a life insurance agency with my husband, and I could sell group life insurance, but I would literally never do clients a disservice like that. I'll tell you other reasons why it was bad, but my husband was just sitting down with a potential client that used to be HR. She was HR for 30 years till she was let go from her position. She never thought she would be let go because of the seniority that she had, but realized that now that she does not have that life insurance anymore. And not only that, she kind of started to analyze her entire time there and thought about it and said that not one death claim that came through did the company actually pay out for her entire 30 years of working there. So in my opinion, all work insurance does is give people a false sense of reality that they have some type of protection for their families if something happened to them. Two, a lot of people think that if they retire or if they get fired or if they change jobs or if they're laid off, they get to keep that insurance. And most times it doesn't have any kind of portability benefits. And three, they do not pay out at the same rates as a regular life insurance policy. And very often when you have a work policy, you don't even have a physical copy of the policy. You don't even know what it says. I really think it's a waste of money.
I've said the same thing. You've heard it here. Now this is just reinforcing it. But just imagine this person has worked in HR for 30 years at the same company, 30 years in HR. Let's dismiss the fact that she gets laid off, which is why we do BizBuzz, so we can talk about the fact that those things should not happen to you. You should always have a backup plan. You should always have skills that you're growing and learning so that no one can immediately take your income away from you. But let's just say, like, she was in HR for 30 years of her life, and not one time did she see the insurance company pay out to a beneficiary, a death benefit, anything like that. Not one time. Not one in 30 years. Now, again, we don't know this person, so she may be telling the truth. We hope she is. If she's not, okay. But just think that could be the case, that someone could work somewhere for 30 years in HR. These are the people that deal with the benefits package and the paperwork. And she has never seen that insurance company pay out. Yet we still want to rely on job insurance, ladies and gentlemen. We use this month of September to educate and to have the conversation around the things that are important, to make sure that you are protected, your family is protected. In the event anything were to happen, your family can still keep the house, kids can go to college, grandkids still have a life that they enjoy, the whole nine, right? But if we're just relying on the job, may not work out that way. Job group term policies do not pay out in the same rate. It may take 6 to 12 months just to even receive the death benefit, if there is any. We've now heard multiple stories of why a policy might not pay out if you don't die at work, or you weren't at work for long enough, or you didn't show up. a certain day, and now all of a sudden your policy's null and void. You don't actually have a physical policy. You don't really know much about it. So these are all the reasons why this is the month, this is the time to get yourself properly protected. Reach out to someone that understands insurance. Reach out to me. Reach out to your trusted insurance agent or your trusted financial planner. They'll be able to put you in the right position and be able to get you the right type of coverage for yourself. It's super important to do that this month. I mean, it's important to do it all the time, but it's really important to do it this month because it is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and we want to make sure you're aware of how these products work and how they may fall short for some people. But it's your responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure you dive in. Do not rely on job life insurance that your employer offers you to cover and protect your family. It may not be exactly what you need it to be. And again, because you don't have a policy and you typically we don't really know much about it, we can't even validate if it's good. So if you do have job insurance, group term, let that be the cherry on top of your sundae. Let that be, right, the pepper on top of your salad, right? That's not the sundae. That's not the salad. It's the top part of it, the cherry on top, which most people don't even eat. It's just, okay, cool, that's there. Some fresh cracked pepper on top of your salad. It enhances it. It's delicious, but you don't need it really if it's a well-made salad. That's my culinary side coming out there. But at the end of the day, that's what group insurance is. Okay. It's just a little addition. It's okay to have it. It's nothing to rely on for you and your family. All right. So that's the message for today. Those of you that have group term, hey, just learn what it's about. And now's the time to go get a personal policy for yourself. Make sure your family's protected, whether it's term, whether it's permanent, it doesn't matter. Get it this upcoming Wednesday over on Facebook, on our United Agency Facebook page. We're going to be talking about the right types of life insurance, term versus permanent, which one is going to be best for you. We're going live Wednesday night, September 25th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, to talk about what's the proper insurance for you and your family to make sure that you have that foundation set. And once you know that, then we can get back to the conversation around how we're going to make more money, right? How we're going to grow our cash flow, how we're going to get more discretionary income, how we're going to be able to save more, invest more, pay off debt, all of those things. That comes after we have this conversation this month around foundation. All right. So we love you guys. We want you all to win and make it happen in life. Hopefully these are helping you continue to build your financial literacy, build your financial education, build your knowledge around money and insurance and those types of things. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to shoot me a message. You can find me anywhere on any platform, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Again, we're live here on LinkedIn and YouTube. Wherever you are, we are, and we want to be able to answer your financial questions. So again, we're going to come back next Friday here for BizBuzz Live, and we're going to talk a little bit to you business owners. All of you business owners, all of you people that run small businesses, how insurance benefits you. We're going to talk some higher level strategies, executive bonus plans, key mans, key persons insurance, buy sell agreements. What does that mean? And how does that benefit you as a business owner? So you're going to want to come back around next Friday, September 27th. Yep, that's right. September 27th, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be right back here on LinkedIn and YouTube. Until next time, though,